Welcome to Climate Quickies, bite-sized nuggets of climate goodies from our TED experts in under 5 minutes.
This week, we hear from Tzeporah Berman, an anti-fossil fuel environmental campaigner who's seeking to get the world to phase out fossil fuels via a global treaty.
She spells out how big oil is playing the blame game, why it's in their interest to do so, and how this distraction method is making you feel guilty and shame around your own consumption habits.
Let's head over to Tzeporah to tell us more. Enjoy and stay curious.
I think those who have a vested interest in maintaining the status quo, they're going to benefit and profit from us continuing to use fossil fuels or continuing to log old growth forests. They want to make it seem like it's so complicated that you have to be an expert to engage in it because they don't want more of us to engage. Because the more people who engage, the more powerful we are, right?
Yeah.
Like we are greater together than we are apart. That's what movements mean. It's citizens coming together in all our differences and all of our disagreements. And, that's the diversity and the numbers is what makes us strong. And so they keep us apart by making us question ourselves, by sitting at home going, I don't know if it's cap and trade or carbon tax, so I guess I better read some more. I better think some more about it. I have 3 university degrees, and when I first started working on climate change, I was so confused by all the numbers and all the different policies. Right. And I kept thinking, I can't be a part of this conversation because I don't really understand whether it should be a cap and trade or a carbon tax or a whatever. It's so much simpler than that. Yeah. If they're building more of the bad stuff right now, then they're lying about caring about climate change. Right. That's how simple it is. Stop building fossil fuels, no more pipelines, no more big projects. Start focusing everything on the good stuff. And we should all, at this moment in history, be empowering everyone to engage. We can't afford to sit home and feel guilty right now. Yeah. And that's what they want us to do, because they want to keep us isolated.
And this is that whole thing of what is your carbon footprint? All of that comes from this putting it on the individual.
Yeah, I know. And again, it's not like I'm saying that lifestyle stuff isn't important. I'm a mom. I got kids. I think, you just can't not be slightly disgusted at today's lifestyle, right? We consume too much. There's too much garbage. All of that is true. But I think what is sadder than that is we don't think of ourselves as people who can make change, as people who can participate in a meaningful way.
Yeah.
And we all can. And
literally every
I feel like there's
person.
a thing that I try and make it a practice that I engage in other people's issues and campaigns all the time. At least a couple times a week, I go to someone else's march I don't work on food issues, instead of, or I go online and I click here and I sign someone else's petition. And because those little things matter, they add up, right? And that's what politicians look at. How many people have signed the letter? How many people were at that march? And right now we need to make noise in whatever way we can.
And if you can't do anything, go and cook. Why not? There's things that you can do.
There's always something you
everyone can do, right?
If you can't leave home, then go online, sign a petition, call up a group and volunteer for them. The worst thing that people do, I think, is they get newly interested in an issue, and then they think, I have to create the new organization that's going to do X and Y.
Yeah.
And we need to band together, and we need to stop trying to recreate the wheel. And the working together, that's tough.
Yeah.
Because that means you have to deal with your differences. And I think being on a lot of frontline protests and blockades has forced me to learn how to do that.
Yeah.
Because when you're in a protest situation, you don't know who's going to end up standing beside you.
Yeah.
But you have a common purpose.
Yeah.
And so you're just going to work it out.
Thanks for listening to this quickie.
This episode was created by our usual superstar podcast team. Until next time,
Stay curious.